Hello and welcome to our syllabus review video. I'm going to go over the important aspects of the course in the syllabus that I want to draw your attention to, trying to keep this as short as I possibly can. And all of the campus-wide policies I will kind of allow you to read on your own. So let's just start off with the top, the course and instructor information. First of all, please call me Amanda, address me as Amanda. That's how I prefer to be addressed. I am on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you can also book a virtual Zoom appointment if you would like to. So you click on the book your appointment link. It gives you a 15-minute spot during my open office hours. If none of those times work for you, just send me a message and let me know you'd like to talk. Speaking of sending me a message, you can send me a message via email, but please use the subject line PSYC 290 or just 290 is fine. You can send me a message on Remind, which I'll cover in just a little bit, or you can send me a Canvas inbox message. If you do that, you don't need to tell me what class you're coming from because Canvas tells me that. So this is a WWW course, and what that means is that you are working on your own. We do not meet at any specific time. It is asynchronous. As long as you meet the due dates each week, you'll be just doing it at your own pace, in your own space, and at your own time. Inclusivity is an important aspect for me because I want to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity in my class. So if you use a name that's different than the name on your roster, maybe your name is Nicholas and you go by Nick or whatever it might be, please just let me know in any way that you feel comfortable. We do have an introduction post in our class-wide project. That would be a great way to let the class know how you would like to be addressed. Also, this class is going to be discussing a variety of topics in the field of psychology, and a lot of topics can have uncomfortable moments, I guess I'll say. There may be some times where there could be some triggering topics, and I think I have a good foresight to see what that might be and to offer a trigger warning on them. But I can't always know exactly what could be triggering, so I try not to assume, but I do put trigger warnings on things that might come up. A lot of the theories and things that we talk about, you don't have to agree with, but you do have to respect. You have to respect its historical value to psychology, whether it's a theory or we talk a lot about how some politics influences adolescence as well. And I approach things in a very factual manner. I look at the evidence and I give the data. So there will be no personal bias whatsoever in this class. I would like to see who I'm talking to. So in our welcome module, you will see a link to upload a picture of yourself to your Canvas avatar. Please let it be an appropriate photo of just you, but a pet is allowed as well. That way, when I grade and I pull up your Canvas profile, or I'm in the grade book putting grades in, I can see who I'm sending a grade to. That's just appreciated. Okay, our textbook is called Adolescence. I used the 13th edition, although the 14th edition is available. It was released in the middle of the year last year, but the 13th edition is totally fine. If you need to get that through the MCC bookstore, you can do that. The price did increase as we changed vendors recently, so I am working on getting that cost down. If you don't need to use the bookstore because of financial aid, please look for it at other sources. Online, I have found it as low as $20. If you would like an ebook or an audiobook version of this, you can use Connect, which is McGraw-Hill's online component, and you can also just use Connect for free for the first 14 days while maybe you're looking for the book, or maybe you just want to see what the audiobook is like to see if you would like it. So every student has free access to the Connect course, which includes the audiobook and ebook for 14 days. You can also purchase the book after that 14-day trial, or you can just purchase the book now through the Connect site. There is a registration link for our course on there. It's not a requirement, only again if you would like the free trial or the ebook or the audiobook. Okay, we're going to scroll down to our communication expectations in this course. You are expected to check your messages regularly, and that includes your Canvas inbox and your email. If I'm sending you something and it comes back to me because your inbox is full, I still need to, you know, I still say that it's been sent, I guess is the best way to say it. So you need to make sure that your mailbox is being checked. I recommend at minimum 4 times per week. I do communicate mainly through Canvas announcement, and so hopefully you'll be seeing those while you log into Canvas. In terms of how, you can communicate with me, I've already mentioned the email and Canvas inbox message. You can also sign up to be a student in my Remind class. If you're unfamiliar with Remind, it's an app, but you don't actually need the app to sign up. You can just text at PSYC 290 WWW to the number 81010 to join. And what it is you can message me directly to my phone, and I can message you, but we do not share phone numbers. Students cannot message each other. It's only to me and from me. I don't spam out on the Remind. Any announcements are done through Canvas, not Remind. But the nice thing about using Remind is that my hours are a little bit expanded. So Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7 p.m. on Remind. But email is only Monday through Friday, usually around 8 until 5 p.m. Now, I am kind of strict on those hours, so that way I can have a social life and spend time with my family. So if you do email me on Friday at 3 o'clock p.m., I do have until Monday at 3 o'clock p.m. to reply. But I do respond within 24 hours of all messages. It is nice on Remind because it goes directly to my phone, and if I have my phone with me, I can respond quickly. So if it is a matter, something that's quick, something that I can turn around really quickly, please use Remind. Okay, our modules are set up. I use these little emojis to kind of try to keep us in line and keep it consistent from module to module. But our modules are set up pretty much the same way, starting with our first content module. It starts with something called the student handout. Now, this is not required and you don't turn it in, but I do highly recommend it, and past students recommend it as the most useful resource that I provide to them. This is an outline of my lecture slides, and it has just empty space for you to fill in the blank. So you can print it off and handwrite it, you can type it, you can change the spacing, you can change the font size, you can change the font color, whatever you want to do. Once you download it, it's yours and you can use it in any way you would like. It's very, very helpful to have when you're taking the module reports, which are your assessment at the end of the week, because it has information that you can refer back to. In terms of attendance, I will take attendance each week, and I do that based on the assessment, the module report completion. So if you completed the module report, then you are going to be marked as present for the week. The class schedule is available for you to view as well. I highly recommend having a tangible copy, like a printed out copy of it, maybe near your notebook or your computer desk that you work at. But having it there so you can cross things off is very helpful. If you would like a physical copy, I can have them available on campus to pick up, but I just need to know about it ahead of time so I can make those arrangements. Module reports. So module reports are basically your assessment at the end of the module, as I mentioned. It asks a series of questions that's based on the videos that we've watched and the assigned readings. They are not timed, but you do need to complete it in one sitting. They range between 28 and 40 points, and they are always going to be due on Wednesday night by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Our weeks, by the way, they run Thursday to Wednesday, so the modules open on Thursday morning and they close on Wednesday nights. And I do a midweek due date for a few reasons. First of all, not everybody is available to work on the weekends. Some students are better at working at the weekends, some students are better at working during the weekdays. So this gives the opportunity for both of those types of students, I should say. And also, if something comes up, I can know about it during the week and address it before the end of the module, and if something comes up right before the end of the module, I have time to address it then. If we do a Sunday due date, I don't always check my messages during the weekend, and so I usually miss those. So our due dates are in the middle of the week. Okay, the real world adolescence project. If you've had me in Psychology 281 in a WWW class, you've done a very similar project. If not, that's okay. It looks very intimidating, and I can tell you right now, it is not. But you do have to be careful on what you're clicking on. So don't just click and type because you could be messing something up for somebody else. But let me tell you a little bit what it is. So it is a Google site. Google Site is a web building part of the Google Suite. And so you're going to be building a web page with your classmates. You're going to find what we're talking about in the world around you and put it to use in this project. There are a lot of guides to this in the next module, so you can go ahead and check out those videos there. I give you a complete breakdown on how to do it exactly step by step, and so I'm going to save a lot of that for that video. You contribute to the project, that's worth 10 points, and you also have to say whose contribution you thought was your favorite, that's worth 5 points. I give you a breakdown of exactly how it's graded, not only within the project, but also here in the syllabus. You do have an assignment in the middle of the semester called the mid-semester check-in. It's worth 25 points. If you do it, you get the 25 points. If you don't, you don't. It just asks you like, hey, how are you doing? It's basically it. And it happens after you get your midterm grades, so you can kind of assess how you're doing and your progress and success in the class, and if you need to change anything. I do not accept any late work because we have a full week to do all of these projects, the Real World Adolescence project, the contribution, the fan favorite, and your module assessment. Because you have one full week to do those, I do not extend deadlines except in extreme circumstances. And if that's the case, you need to contact me as soon as possible. Okay, the use of artificial intelligence. So basically in this class, it is not allowed in any way, shape, or form, in whole or in part, no matter if you're using a bot, a generator, whatever it might be, you cannot use it and submit it as your work. You cannot use it to brainstorm for your work either. So what that means is if you can't come up with something for the Real World Adolescence project, you are not allowed to go into a chat bot and like ChatGPT or Gemini and say, hey, I'm doing this project. And no, it is not allowed. This needs to come from all of the material in this class needs to come from your own noggin. And you're going to see that in our module reports, I ask a lot of personal experience questions, and you're going to get the most out of this class if you answer them honestly. If you are really itching to use AI for something, then heck, I give you a video here on the appropriate way to use generative AI as a study tool. But that's kind of it. We don't have really multiple choice exams, so you can create a multiple choice practice exam, but that's not really what we do in this class. Academic integrity. If you are caught using AI or plagiarizing or cheating in any way that violates Mott's academic integrity policy, this is how it goes down in this class. For your first offense, you will get a 0 on the entire assignment, not just the response in question. I will initiate a meeting with you, and I'll send that usually on Canvas and in an email, and you have to respond within 1 week. You have a couple of options. You can respond and we can meet, or you can respond with admission of guilt if maybe I did catch you red-handed. And so those are kind of your options there. If we do meet, then we kind of go from there. If there's admission of guilt, or if you say I absolutely did not, or if you give me a reason and it kind of works out, whatever it might be, there's a lot of different outcomes from that meeting. So we kind of proceed from there. If I do submit a academic integrity violation form, a copy of it does go to the Dean of Math, Science, and Social Sciences. And if I do submit a copy of the academic integrity form, you do have the opportunity as a student to appeal that violation. If it is your second offense or more, I notify you that a second offense has been detected. A meeting is not going to be scheduled for a second offense. And then I submit an academic integrity violation form, which goes directly to Code of Conduct. Code of Conduct then investigates and the violation and then sets repercussions from a college standpoint. Repercussions in terms of our class is that you fail the class. So I don't take this lightly by any means. I expect you to uphold Mott's academic integrity policy, and in the welcome module, you will see that I ask you to read it in full and sign that you understand. I reserve the right to evaluate the severity of any offense and proceed as necessary. So if a first offense is so severe that it justifies moving forward as failing the class, then that's how it will be. Our breakdown of points in this class, there's 700 total points, and I give you a nice breakdown there with a beautiful little pie chart. And then here's our grading scale, which is pretty standard across campus at Mott. Everything else on this syllabus is pretty standard for Mott Community College, so I will let you read that by yourself in full. If you have an accommodation letter from Disability Services, please send it to me now, even if you don't want those accommodations to be handled now. It's better to have it on file, so that way if you do need them, we can get those rolling right away. If you do send me a notification letter from Disability Services, I will schedule a Zoom meeting with you just to go over it and talk about how it affects our class. If you have any questions, now you know how to contact me. Thank you for hanging in with me for 16 minutes, and proceed to the next portion in this module.